I want to fix my credit in 60 days. Well, that was the craziest thing that I heard last month, and we are going to talk about it. So here's the deal. It's not just one person, it's multiple people. And I know that you might be thinking as well, oh, there's gotta be a way to fix my credit overnight, super fast, instant cure to bad credit. And I'm here to tell you that no, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't exist, right? It doesn't exist like that. And you know what? People get all pissed off when I say that there's no fast way to fix credit. There's no fast way to remove these things on your credit report that took you years to put there, because everyone's looking for that fix that's just super, super quick, right? And while what I do is the shortcut, it still takes you time, right? Now, let's just look at an example. And this is actually coming directly from the phone call that I had most recently with a person who told me that he wants to be mortgage ready in 60 days. And no, I'm not pointing anyone out because I'm not telling you who he is, okay? This is the deal, all right? It took them, 3 years? 3 years to initially build their credit, right? And I'm talking about from nothing. I don't know if it was when they were 20, when they were 18, or whether, they were 26. It doesn't matter how old they were. We're talking about from ground zero. You literally have nothing but a name and a social security number, right? You don't even have a credit file yet. Well, because they actually had to start and go back to that timing, I want you to think about this, because they had to start with, a jewelry store, or, getting a cosign on a vehicle, or getting a $200 credit builder card. It took them time, right? Because first you have to get it. That's 10 to 14 days there. And then you have to use it. And then you have to pay on it. Then it has to post. And they don't post immediately. We're talking about whenever the creditor wants to post. It could be 30, 60, or 90 days. So now you just wasted 30, 60, or 90 days waiting for this one card to post because something else has to be on there. Then you have to use it a little bit, and then you can go and apply for something. So now we're talking about 4 months down the road, possibly 4 months. 4 months down the road to go and apply for something else. So now you have one $200 card on there, right? Then you go to a jewelry store and they're like, hey, you know what? Put $200 down. We'll give you $400 in credit. All right. So you're like, perfect. That's great. So now you have another line on there. Then you go and you get an installment loan with, a company now would be like, self-lender, right? You get your installment loan, then you get your, unsecured credit card, so on and so forth. And they, just so you know, you may want to look into that. And I will post my affiliate link down in the description, because guess what? Your limits can get raised like really, really quick, quicker than I've ever seen with any other company. And you do it yourself right on their site, okay? There is no reason, unless you have a bankruptcy, that you should not be building your credit unless you already have higher lines than with them, okay? So anywho, now we're talking about 6 months down the road. We only have 3 lines, okay? Because in the beginning, it's going to take you some time. Now, let's jump a year ahead, okay? So now we're at a year and a half or whatever. And now we have a couple of lines. We have maybe 3 credit cards and we have a vehicle on there. That's still nowhere near mortgage ready, right? That's still nowhere near where you need to be to actually have what's considered a fleshed out credit file and good credit. No, you're just beginning, okay? Everyone needs to think about, how fast time flies. Like what was happening last year. You're like, oh my God, that's going to take forever. And then boom, it's the following year, right? Like, we live in a microwave society. I get it. Everyone wants everything like yesterday. I said that in the video that I posted recently. We live in a microwave society where everyone wants everything like yesterday. And I get it. Like I said, it's a process. But when you go back and think about how long it took you to initially build from jump, you're going to say, Kristen, you know what? You're absolutely right. It took me 3 years to initially build my file to where, it was when I started screwing it up because, something happened. I lost my job. I got sick. Pandemic happened. Whatever. It doesn't matter what happened. Okay. Nobody, and I'm not saying not me. I'm saying I do care. I'm just saying that the bureaus, the creditors, the collectors, nobody, they don't care. They just care about the fact that you didn't pay them on time or you didn't pay them at all. Okay. So here's the deal. Took us 3 years. Now we have our first late payment. So how long in between that first late payment and right now where you're looking for help? Well, for this example, it's actually 5 years. So it wasn't when we got that first late, because we could have jumped on top of that. Unless it was like a financial thing where it's like, hey, I just can't pay these things and I've got, $20, $30, $36,000 in debt. So now it took us 3 years. And we wait 5 years. Now we're 8 years down the road. Then this person picks up the phone and says, I need a mortgage. I need a mortgage, man. I need a mortgage. But I need it in 60 days. What? We're not even talking about, like, he didn't even say I need to be mortgage ready in 60 days. He said I need a mortgage in 60 days, which means that you would have to start in 15 days. So you're telling me that in 15 days, you want all your negative items that took you 5 years to get and 3 years to build to come off? No. Do you know what I would be given from the whole world if I had the ability to get someone all their negative items off and totally score ready to get a mortgage in 60 days? Just think about that. We're talking about removing 5 years of crap, collections, a foreclosure, a repossession, charge-offs, God knows what else, right? This is just what someone tells me that they have in 60 days. Dude, that's removing $36,000 from someone's credit report in negative debt. That's increasing their credit scores to get them mortgage ready. So they would be jumping like 300 points. And removing all those accounts and then getting them to the point where they can apply and, get qualified for or get approved for a $500,000 loan. Do you think I'd be charging $139? Do you think I'd be charging $1,600? Do you think that I would be charging really anything on the front end except for a documentation fee? I would have to say no. Not only would I be eating lunch daily with the president or, I don't know, someone else, be recognized all over the world, right? For this total cure to something that 68 million people are going through just in the United States, right? But, dude, I would take a piece, a kickback. I would get into what they are trying to get, whether that be a $500,000 loan or a $30,000 credit card. I would get my piece of that. I mean, it just makes sense, right? I mean, you're not going to pay me $139 for 2 months to get $500,000. I'm not going to wipe off this, big conundrum that you created and then allow you to go get that. And I'm only getting $278 out of it. No, my friend, no. So when you're saying to someone, because I'm probably going to be the only person that tells you that this is not something that exists. When you get on the phone or you go to see in person someone, to fix your credit and you're telling them all these unrealistic things that you want, don't be surprised when they tell you, hey, not a problem. Dude, not a problem. Dude, not a problem, not a problem, not a problem, not a problem, not a problem. Because they're going to give it to you. Why? Why wouldn't they? You're telling them exactly what they want.